How you doing, guys? It's Devontae for the FloTrack. Today we have Ian Marley of Maurten today with us. We're gonna walk through some products and see what they have to bring today. How you doing, Ian?
I'm well, Devontae. Thanks for talking to me today.
Yes, sir. I'm feeling good. So walk me through some of the magic today. I know we talked about it today. We got the special secrets today. Let me hear some of those secrets today.
Yeah, well, basically the secret sauce with all of our products is the core technology of hydrogel. And what hydrogel basically is, easily understood, is a way of encapsulating carbohydrates to deliver them to the body without interacting with the stomach. What that means for athletes, especially runners, is that we can bypass digestion, so we can get those carbohydrates into the body with no interaction from the stomach, meaning no GI distress risk. But you're also going to get the energy from the body, from those carbohydrates more quickly and without a blood sugar spiking crash. So just a steady release of that energy. So it's kind of the trifecta of benefits for the runner, getting fuel into your body. And we use it just that one simple technology called hydrogel to do it.
Yes, sir. Do you have that with us today?
I do in a certain way. Let me grab a gel to showcase it really quickly. But the hydrogel is going to be in all of our products. So that's going to be in our gels, our drink mixes, and our bicarb system, which we'll get into in a little bit more. But it's really just what makes the gel give that consistency of being more jelly-like rather than more liquid, more syrupy.
Yes, sir.
And we can even crack that open if you want to, like, you can pour it out and see what it is.
Let's look a little bit.
Let's take a look.
And so the athlete just takes it, ingests it.
Yeah.
We're all good.
So most runners, I think, are familiar with taking gels on the run. That's obviously the most convenient, logistically way of getting those carbs in.
Yes, sir.
But you can also take, like, our drink mixes, especially on the run or before, to pre-fuel, making sure you're getting those carbs you need. Maybe if you're running later in the day, you want to just top off the energy stores before you do that evening workout. If you're doing something like a marathon, carbo loading is as big a part of the process as anything else.
Yeah.
So making sure we're carbo loading, the drink mix gives you that same hydrogel benefit. So you get the carbs easily. You don't have to worry about any of the side effects of, like, trying to eat your body weight in pasta.
Yeah.
Doesn't always feel as good as it sounds.
I know. So essentially, basically, it's cheat code, get the nutrition and the fuel dust faster without having to deal with the pain afterwards.
Yeah, and a way we can think about it too is we all took different means of getting here, right? Like,
yes, sir.
I flew, some people lived locally, drove. So we think about, like, those modes of transportation are all ways of getting us to where we want to go.
Yes,
and they have advantages. If you fly, you know, it might have a little bit of a premium in cost, but you know it's going to be faster, more reliable, it can get you across the country where you're trying to go more simply, more efficiently. If you drive, you might break down on the way, you might have problems, you might, you know, run off the road. So it's just about kind of getting the carbs where they need to go more efficiently, more simply. So think of it as a transport or delivery mechanism.
I love it. We love to see it. We love to see it. So we know that Maurten has obviously great benefits. What athletes does use Maurten?
We have a lot of athletes. I mean, I think a lot of runners in America and globally became aware of our products when Eliud Kipchoge was using them for both of his breaking 2-hour attempts and every marathon he's run since. So he kind of became accidentally the face of the brand because he was so famous globally with what he was doing, both as an ambassador for the sport, but also pushing the boundaries of human performance and trying to go sub 2 hours in the marathon. He was using Maurten for all those attempts and everything he's done since then. We've also expanded our roster to include, now in the US, Ethan Strand. We have Connor Mance, who's breaking the American record in Chicago using Maurten. Molly Seidel has been one of our beloved athletes for many years and will be using Maurten as she transitions now to the trail running space.
That's amazing. We've seen those athletes and what they're capable of, so I believe in Maurten. So right. I want to be elite like them, so let's break it down. Let's see how it all works. How do we get the Maurten package ready?
Yeah, so I mean, the core is starting with the gel, taking it on the run. I think one of the things that we think about when we talk about fueling is just understanding that most runners are not fueling nearly enough, right? This is not a Maurten versus other brands question. This is just athletes not understanding what the needs are. So according to the American College of Sports Medicine, the recommendations for fueling would be easy runs of 1 hour to 2.5 hours long. We're gonna aim for 40 to 60 grams per hour. That's 2 gels an hour, and based on the thousands and thousands of conversations with runners I've had at race expos, that's probably about twice what most athletes are getting in most of their runs.
Wow.
When we step up to a run that's either longer than 2.5 hours or harder, like a hard half marathon, a marathon, or a hard long run, like a marathon prep long run that has some effort, things like that, we're actually going to step that carbohydrate intake up even higher, go to 60 to 90 grams per hour. What we've seen, and with athletes and conversations that I've had, is most athletes are fueling to the level that they can tolerate, as opposed to what's actually optimal for their fueling.
Right.
Using that hydrogel technology to take the GI distress risk out of the equation means we can really fuel to thrive instead of just fueling to survive. So let's talk about the bicarb system a little bit more, because I think that's what the people want.
That's what the people want. Let's give them what they want.
Yeah. So the bicarb system is going to come in an envelope like this, and it's going to come with 3 components.
Okay.
The component A is just for mixing. It's a bowl. It's going to show us how much water to add to it. We're going to have component B, which is going to be a gelling agent, kind of like something to create something like our gel in the bowl.
Yes, sir.
And then component C is where the magic happens. This is going to be the sodium bicarbonate tablets. So the quick primer on the bicarb system and how it works before we'll actually make some. I'm gonna make Devontae try some.
Step forward.
Yeah, because you were looking forward to it.
I was looking forward to it, actually. I want to see some magic.
Yeah, exactly. There's no time like the present. But basically what sodium bicarbonate is baking soda, which in and of itself is nothing fancy, nothing exciting. But it is an alkaline substance. It's a base, right? So the opposite of an acid is a base. When we're running hard, we are breaking down stored muscle glycogen. And in that process of converting that into ATP for the body to use as energy and fuel to make us actually be propelled forward. Sure. At higher intensities, that breakdown of glycogen will result in the release of a hydrogen ion. And that hydrogen ion will accumulate in the muscle environment. We can't really do anything with it physiologically. Sure. And as they build up, the muscle environment will become more acidic. And eventually it will interfere with the body's ability to contract the muscle and will slow down or stop. That's that burning sensation we feel when we go really hard and we hold it for a long time. We kind of are pushing our limits. That finishing kick, that surge in a race, that race winning move. I've never had a race winning move, but the faster athletes out there might have. Yeah, Devontae, absolutely. He knows, I'm speaking his language.
Thank you. So basically this helps a lot with what most runners refer to as lactic acid at the end of the race.
Exactly. So that lactic acid as language comes from kind of like a more antiquated idea of what was going on there. So science has evolved to understand that lactate is actually a really useful fuel source for us when we're running, because we can shuttle that and turn that back into fuel. But the acid component, which comes from the hydrogen, is still not our friend. Right. And that is something that by buffering with the bicarb system, we can kind of withstand for longer. And the basic science of it is the H from the hydrogen ion will bond with the NaCHO3 of sodium bicarbonate, and we can sweat out the sodium and the H2O, and we can breathe out the CO2, because H plus NaCHO3 becomes Na plus CO2 and H2O. So we can withstand those hard efforts longer. We can recover in an interval session, in between intervals more effectively, more quickly, and we can kind of hold a given pace for a lower metabolic cost. So we're going out for that threshold session. We can say, hey, my threshold session pace is 5:30 pace. Instead of going harder, you can do that 5:30 pace and recover better, feel better the next day, go again.
Amazing.
Or do the double threshold day.
Or the double threshold.
If you're bold enough to go for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's get to cooking.
So let's mix it up. So the basics are pretty simple. We're gonna add water from the magic Maurten bottle to the line of 200 mils.
And then package B, correct?
That is right. So I'll have you just tear that open, pour it in. So then this will be the interesting one. So we're gonna seal it up.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have you shake this for 5 to 10 seconds. And you can stop now, that's good.
All right.
Yeah. So you might not have heard this, but there is a noticeable auditory change when that gelling mixture actually bonds with the water and turns from liquid to gel. And
I felt it a little, I thought I was tripping.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to let this rest for 3 minutes, but we're gonna cheat a little bit so I can kind of showcase the gel structure on its own. So you can see it's It's now
Oh, wow.
not just liquid, it's a little soupier. It's gonna stick to that spoon a little bit better.
I see it. I still see it thickening up.
Yeah. But we're just gonna let that rest for a couple of minutes before we put the powder, the tablets in.
Right.
And I'll say that, classically speaking, bicarb has long been known, dating back to the original research, I think was in the 1920s. We're talking about 100 years of research legacy here. We've known that it works for those high intensity efforts. But the challenge is that bicarb is really hard to get into the body. So you remember ever doing a grade school experiment where you created a volcano?
Baking soda and vinegar.
Baking soda and vinegar.
Yes,
acid and a base.
Yes, sir.
Acid in the stomach, base in the bicarb system. The key thing is how can we get it into the body without interacting with the stomach? And that was always the challenge, is solving that problem. Well, there were a couple of scientists, Lewis Goff and Andy Sparks, 2 years ago, wrote a paper using our bicarb system. Takeaway line from it that I love is virtually eliminates GI distress risk as part of bicarb supplementation. And this is why the bicarb system has become so popular, why you see it in the infield of so many high-level track races, why 80% of the distance runners at the Olympics were using it, whether they were sponsored by us or not. They just know it's a performance edge. And if their competitors are using it, you're at a disadvantage if you're not using it. So get back to the experiential piece of this.
Here we go.
I'll have you mix in component C, the bicarb system
back.
micro tablets.
Sir, what's attaching to that acid inside of your body?
Yep, so these are micro tablets of coated sodium bicarbonate.
All of them?
Yes, please. And I'm gonna have you mix them up, and then you're gonna just have a couple spoonfuls and relay your experience.
Let's see.
I've tried it a lot, so it's no fun for me.
Is it good? Wait,
It's
what does
not
it taste
bad.
like?
There's gonna be a little bit of a sweetness.
Do we chew?
No. Oh, great question.
Yeah, do we chew it?
Do not chew the tablets.
Don't chew, okay.
So we want those tablets
gonna
to
chew.
maintain the shape and form that they have to help them more easily pass through the stomach without interacting with them.
All right.
It's not gonna be your favorite thing
Bottoms
ever,
up.
but it's not that bad.
I'm a solid guy. Nothing really phases me. Delicioso.
You have a couple more.
It's not that bad, actually.
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's not horrible at all, by no means. It just kind of catches you off guard, especially the consistency.
Yeah.
It's an interesting taste, but I wouldn't mind eating a whole bottle of this. It's not that bad.
And again, it's sports nutrition, so we're not recommending people have it as a snack, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Sports nutrition is about focused, context-specific fueling or solutions to a problem. Any sports nutritionist in the world would tell you that the name of the game is food first, but not food always. What we mean by that is your diet should be supported primarily by real foods that are rich in all of the micronutrients available.
Yes, sir.
But when we're running, we want to pare that down so we have the simplest, most effective fueling solutions possible. This is about getting you, in this case, 40 grams of carbohydrates in the bowl and the sodium bicarbonate into your body, because you can't get that in another form without, let's just say, explosive side effects.
Yeah, damaging yourself.
Yeah.
So basically the fuel you need and the ability to use that fuel within.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks,
We love the
Devontae.
Bicarb product. We love it all.
I love that.
Yes, sir. We look forward to seeing more.
And good luck in the 5K tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah.